How's your day going today, Joanne?
Fine, I'm hungry.
You're hungry? We'll see about getting you some lunch. Are you expecting any visitors today?
Yes, my best friend is coming and I cannot wait to see her because she's coming with some food.
Oh, what's your best friend's name?
Her name is Becky. She's the best.
Becky.
Yes.
Oh, I hear a knock.
Hey, Joni.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. Haven't really been feeling great, but I can't wait for the food that you brought. What's in your
I know
hand?
you asked for the food. I brought you that burrito you wanted.
Oh, you know me the best.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the bacon. It's the bacon burrito you wanted.
Oh my god, it's bigger than my face. And all this sauce, this spicy, all this green sauce are the best.
Joanne, I see that you are very excited to eat. But since your visitor is here, I would like to take some time to talk about some discharge planning with both of you. This will take about 30 minutes. Is now an okay time to do that?
Yeah, they told me to come right now that we were at this time so we can talk about that.
Perfect.
Because I'm going to be helping out when she comes home.
Okay. And again, my name is Mariel.
Nice to meet you. And you're her nurse today?
Yes,
I'm Becky.
I'm her nurse today.
Okay. So what are we going to talk about today?
Yeah, so the overall goal of this discussion today is to talk about Joanne's discharge plan.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we're going to talk about what your home environment looks like, the plan for how you're going to get home, how you are going to move around in your home, your diet, as well as exercising, and we'll also go over your medications at this time. I know it can sound overwhelming right now, but we'll be having these discussions multiple times during your hospital stay. I encourage you to please ask any questions whenever you have questions. We value everyone's opinions here, and it's important that you feel confident once you return home. So that is the purpose of this meeting.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's a lot that's to go over. She was talking about things. So I have a notebook. We can write notes down, or are you going to give us paperwork with all of this information? How does that work?
Yes, so I actually have your paperwork here. It is in large print, so for both of you to be able to read it. This is a checklist of the things we will be discussing today. And again, we will continue to discuss these things every day during your hospital stay. At the end of discharge, we'll give you finalized paperwork. But that's great. We do encourage you to take notes, especially you can take notes on the board here whenever you have any questions for your care team.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I see. I have to be on low diet. Dang it. That's why I cannot have the burrito. Well, thank you for letting me know because I was ready for that burrito.
Oh my gosh, if I would have known, I wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you just talked about there's going to be a change in her diet with all these, low sodium, and she has to restrict her fluid that we're going to have to help her with. What else are things going to look like for at home? What do we need to know? What's that going to be like?
Yeah, so there are going to be changes when you go home, Joanne. So you're here because your congestive heart failure is worsening, which means you are going to have more fatigue and weakness when you're at home, which means you might have more difficulty doing activities of daily living. Something else that might also happen is you will feel more short of breath, which will again interfere with your activities. Another thing that can happen is you may also gain more weight, which will impact your activities. So those are the main changes that you'll see when you're at home, and it will impact the way you sleep, the activities you're able to do, and that's why it's important for us to talk about your diet today as well. So I do have a couple more questions. Do you have any concerns of your home environment? Do you live like on a 1-story, 2-story house?
Yes, so in order to get into my house, where we parked our cars, we parked our car up on the hill. So that's my driveway, by the way. And so I'm gonna have people help me clean my garage so I can somehow fit my car in there. So yeah, Becky, do you think that you can help me?
Yeah, we've already arranged people to come. We're gonna figure
Okay.
that out, so then she can just go from the garage straight into the house and doesn't have to worry about walking uphill.
Yeah, and
Because it was hard for her before with the oxygen, but now it seems like it's gonna be really hard
yeah, and
to carry that.
I can clean some of the rooms that are closer to the garage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Do you plan on living on the first floor, like doing all of your things, sleeping, cooking, using the bathroom on the first floor? What does that look like for you?
Yes, I think I can sleep in that room that's closer to the entrance from the garage.
Okay.
But getting food from upstairs, my kitchen is upstairs. Can I walk up the stairs?
So that is something that we will continue to work on during your hospital stay, getting you strong so that you may be able to get up those stairs. How many steps are there?
Roughly around like 10.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that I will let the physical therapist and occupational therapist know as well. They can work on you and we can continue to evaluate that because that is important for you to have access to your kitchen. In the event that you don't have access to your kitchen, what is your backup plan? Do you have like cabinets or downstairs? Do you think you can put a fridge on the
Yeah.
first floor?
I think so. I think I may have this small fridge that I, can store some of the drinks. I mean, like, is it like water or stuff like that? But maybe I could have some frozen food in
Well,
that fridge.
The one that you have in the garage that has all the drinks,
Yes.
we can trade that out and put it in there and make that food instead of your like drink refrigerator.
Oh, that's a great idea too.
That sounds like a really great plan so far. So another question is, do you have a bathroom on the first floor? What does your toilet and shower look like on that?
Yes, I do have a bathroom on that floor. Yeah, I can use that bathroom, right?
Yeah, that you're just gonna move into the guest room, so you'll be a guest in your own house.
Oh,
Great, I'm glad to hear you have easy access to a bathroom, because we'll be discussing your meds further, and some of these meds are going to make you use the bathroom more often. And another question I have for you is, I saw in your chart that you've been sleeping in a recliner for the past couple of days. Is that how you normally sleep?
no, I normally sleep on my back, just laying flat on the mattress. I don't really like the pillow, like too many pillows behind my, behind my head. I don't like that.
But since you've been here in the hospital, you told me that you're sleeping, you like that the bed comes up.
Yeah, sometimes, I guess so.
Yeah.
And so now that your congestive heart failure is worsening, it is important for you to actually be sleeping more upright. I hear that you're more comfortable laying flat, but sometimes that will make the fluid spread out in your lungs, which will make it harder for you to breathe. So I would encourage you to think about your sleeping positions going home as well, because we want you to be safe while you're sleeping and we want you to be able to breathe good while you're sleeping.
So if I don't like the pillows, maybe I can find like a soft blankets. Would that work?
Yeah, as long as your head is raised up, that's also a good alternative.
Or maybe we can have Stan come over and bring the recliner downstairs for you.
Okay.
That's also a great idea. Recliners are also good because you will experience leg swelling as well whenever your legs are swollen, you do need to raise those legs up to make sure the blood is not just pooling there.
Sure.
Okay, that sounds good.
So we can have Stan bring the reclining chair downstairs. You would just have to figure out like where we'd put it. We'd have to move the table, but we can make that happen for you. And then, is there anything else that we need to think about?
Another thing to consider is making sure that there are no rugs in your home that you might trip over.
Oh, that's soft rugs that I just bought. I have to remove
Oh,
it. It
man.
feels so good on my feet.
It does. She has the best rugs she just bought.
Well, you can share it with Becky, and Becky can enjoy the rug at her home.
There you go.
1 month.
You have a good nurse.
And then another thing to consider is your shower. Do you normally how do you normally take a shower?
I normally just stand in the shower. I mean, in the tub though.
Oh, so you use a tub as well. When you go home, I do encourage you to use your standing shower and use a shower chair.
Oh, that's what your the guest bathroom has.
Oh, okay.
The guest one is a standing shower and it has like a little triangle ledge corner seat.
Oh,
Great.
that's right.
So she could use that.
That is going to work best because again, you are going to feel more tired and weak more than usual. I'm concerned that if you try to get in the tub, that is going to require a lot of work to get in there and to get out of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay, so now we are going to talk about your diet at home. I know you were really excited to eat that burrito. I'd like to take this opportunity to look at that label together on that burrito because this is something you have to start doing more when you're at home in order to limit your sodium intake. So let's take a look at that, the label on that burrito. Yeah, I see it right here. So this is saying that this whole entire burrito has 700 milligrams of sodium in it. So if you ate that whole entire burrito, you would have consumed 700 milligrams of salt, right? So your daily intake of salt should be less than 1,500. So,
So that's a lot.
yes, that is a lot already.
Yeah.
And do you remember why you have to reduce your salt?
Yeah, is it because of my heart? Is this gonna be too much for my heart?
Yeah, you're on the right track. Sodium is going to make the fluid build up more in your body. And we don't want any more fluid buildup, or else it's going to make your heart have to work harder and pump harder. So I do encourage you to look at the food labels, limit your sodium intake. That is very important.
So is it gonna make me more thirsty too, since it's too salty?
So another thing is you also have to limit your fluid intake as well. So that means you cannot just drink all the liquid that you want.
I see.
Again, that's going to lead to fluid buildup. So the goal while you're here at the hospital and most likely when you go home is for you to drink no more than 2 liters of water a day. And that is about equal to 8 small cups of water. Do you have any questions about that?
It sounds like I'm gonna have to take notes. of how much liquid I consume each day.
I think it's on this paperwork here.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
they have it
Okay.
back here.
Because I'm not good with math. I don't know 2 liters. I don't know how that equal to.
We'll help you. We'll help
Okay.
you. That's what
Okay.
we're here for. I'm here for
Alright.
Yes,
Yeah.
that there are images in there that you can refer to for you to remember how much 2 liters is.
Okay.
So have you heard of the DASH diet?
Dash. You dash on your computer?
No.
Oh, okay.
So the DASH diet has specific foods that are recommended.
Okay.
The specific foods, they are also listed in that brochure. They are going to be, you should have fruits, vegetables, whole grain, lean protein, which means avoiding that fatty protein. You should avoid canned foods, canned soups as well, because those ones are high in sodium. Another question here is, who usually prepares your food? Becky, are you there often? Do
I
you
mean, we go
cook?
out to lunch, we go out to breakfast and get our coffee all the time, and then we usually grab lunch and go home and eat that for, meals, so.
Okay. So it sounds like you are there with her.
Yeah, but I can
More
help, we
often
can
than
do more
not.
cooking. We'll definitely do more cooking since she won't be able to go out as often, cause she's gonna be more tired, so we'll definitely do some cooking and bring it to her if you need.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You sound like you have great support
Yeah.
with Becky
I
when you're
do.
going home.
I told you she's my best friend.
Yes. Okay, so we talked about your diet. Do you have any other questions about that?
When can I eat this?
Oh my goodness, Joanne, let's get that out of your way. I feel horrible that I brought it.
We cannot tell you what you can and cannot eat. You just have to be mindful about the sodium and the fluids you're putting into your body. And that's why we're going over this, for you to be knowledgeable about your sodium intake.
Okay.
So it's okay
So,
to
like-
have a little bite of that.
Okay. I'll just smell it.
There you go. We can cut it and measure it too. Like she said, there's a limit. So, if we just figure out how much is that 1,500 of sodium a day, you can have some of that burrito. But then later, we just need to make sure you're not eating more and more salts.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't have salt all day. So that yummy stuff you like to get at the cafe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just have to limit that,
Okay.
and we'll get an alternative for breakfast.
Okay.
Then you can have, some yummy foods that you're accustomed to in smaller amounts.
The DASH diet.
Yeah.
The goal is definitely for you to still enjoy the foods that you are having.
Mhm.
And there are, that's the nice thing about exploring. You find out what types of
Yeah.
foods you
Yeah.
might enjoy
So-
more, that's healthier.
The
I make
da-
some really good ratatouille. It's got a lot of vegetable in it, and we can make it with lots of herbs and low sodium seasonings for you. So good. A lot of vegetables in there. And then we'll make sure that you have your fruit basket full of fresh fruits, so you have tons of options.
Yeah. So I have a question actually.
Mhm.
Is DASH diet similar to Mediterranean food?
They are called two different things,
Okay.
but overall, the main difference with Mediterranean is that they encourage seafood. Seafood instead of meats. So
Okay.
that's the main difference with that one.
So can I
Okay.
have that?
Yes, Mediterranean diet also works very well.
Okay.
Okay.
So sounds like just the DASH and the Mediterranean.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so when you go home, it's also important for you to have and continue to move even a little bit each day. And again, this is something that you'll be working with physical therapy and occupational therapy. The reason why we want you to do small exercise daily is because your heart needs it in order to keep pumping well. We don't want your congestive heart failure to worsen quickly. That's why activity is important. We do not recommend that you do activities that strain your heart really fast. So some examples of those are going to be, you don't want to like do jumping jacks or like.
I mean, she hasn't been able to do any of that. She's out of breath just getting up and, you know, going to the bathroom or going to her closet or upstairs. So, I mean, I've been coming over and helping her take care of the dog and walking the dog for her every day.
I can't even tie my shoes because I get, it's just whenever I get down, it's just, it's so hard to breathe.
So how is she supposed to exercise? Like, what are you guys wanting?
So the exercise that we do recommend is low impact that is going to keep your heart rate steady while you're doing it. So that's a great example. You can go for very short walks with Becky and your pet. The main point is that we do not want you to overexert yourself. So once you feel like if you're feeling chest tightness, please just stop your activity and relax. Allow your heart to relax.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that?
No, I think I'm good. Do you have any questions?
I mean, we'll have plenty of questions later as we keep going over stuff.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yes. So now I just have a couple more questions for you. Is there any support, any other additional support that you may need when you go home?
So I have my friend Becky to help me with food.
Okay.
I don't know who's taking me. Do I need to come back to the hospital, for the appointments and stuff like that?
Yes, so you will be having follow-up appointments with a bunch of other members of your healthcare team, especially your primary care provider. I saw in your chart that they are located elsewhere, not here at this hospital, but you will be having follow-up appointments. Do you need any assistance with like transportation? Because we can help arrange those things. Or Becky, will you be helping with transportation?
Yeah, I absolutely can help her. We've kind of arranged it between me and a couple of other neighbors. They really want to help out as well, and so we're all just gonna pitch in and help Joni here and make it happen.
Great. So to me, it sounds like you have all the support that you need right now in regards to food, home setup, and transportation. Great. All right. And so something else that we do have to do today is what's called a medication reconciliation, which means I'm going to review the medications that we have in your chart here.
Okay.
Right, so the first one I have is aspirin 81 milligrams by mouth daily. This is the antiplatelet. Are you still taking this?
Yes.
Okay. Carvedilol, 3.25 milligram by mouth daily. This is to help with your heart rate. Okay. Lisinopril, 5 milligrams by mouth daily to help with hypertension.
Yes.
Ezetimibe, 10 milligrams by mouth daily to help with your cholesterol.
Yes.
Hydralazine, 25 milligrams by mouth. This one is 4 times daily.
Yes.
This is also to help with your heart. Torsemide, 20 milligrams by mouth 2 times a day. This is the diuretic that helps you release that fluid.
Yes.
Potassium, 20 MEQ by mouth daily.
Yes.
Okay. Warfarin, 5 milligrams by mouth daily. This is the anticoagulant.
Yes.
Glyburide, 5 milligrams by mouth daily. This is to help with your diabetes.
Yes.
Great. Does everything sound correct to you? Are we missing anything in our chart?
I I don't think so. I think there sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like everything that we have here is current, which is great.
Mhm.
So you are taking these meds because of your past medical history as well as what is currently going on right now. We want you to be aware of the signs and symptoms you should be looking out for while you're taking these meds, in case you need to go to the hospital again, or in case your doctor needs to adjust the dosage. So you've had your congestive heart failure for the past 2 years. Are there any signs or symptoms you've experienced that you are familiar with and know to look out for?
Yeah. So when I get too tired, I know to like just calm down for a bit and just simply slow down when that happens.
Mm-hmm. And have you noticed anything, Becky?
Well, definitely our morning walks have been a lot less and infrequent lately. And I know like sometimes if she'll have like chest tightness, she takes a break and sits down and it goes away. And it's just from like, she says it's just from the shortness of breath because she's out of breath. And so she'll stop. That walking.
Yeah.
Those are the only signs, and I know sometimes she notices like when she takes her socks off at night, that there's like swelling on her leg, and the indentation from her sock. So, and she said that's from her heart failure.
Yes. Those are all great observations, and I'm glad you are both observing these things because it is important. Something specific I'd like to point out is that you should seek medical care immediately if you notice she is turning pale or blue, if you are having sudden confusion or like worsening dizziness where you feel like you're going to faint. These are important because that means your heart is being overworked in that moment. Your heart rhythm may be thrown off, and that may require immediate attention depending on the type of rhythm that's going on. Do you have any other questions about that?
So I do have another question.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed I gained weight in the past week, maybe 2. I can't remember. Was it because of the burritos or other food that I consumed?
Yes, sodium is definitely tied in with your weight gain. While you're here at the hospital, you should expect us to be taking your weight every morning at the same time. This tells us how much fluid you are retaining. And yes, that is why you have gained weight over the last 2 years. And it's something we definitely need to continue to monitor because it will tell us how much fluid is in your body and how much work your heart is doing to pump all that fluid. So you should, when you go home, you should contact your doctor if you have gained more than 2 to 3 pounds in a couple of days.
Oh, okay.
So when you go home, you'll need to weigh yourself.
Yeah, I see that there's this log on here. They want you to keep track of your daily weight and your blood pressure.
Yes.
So you'll write that on the log, it looks like.
Okay.
You will also contact your primary care provider if you are having increased shortness of breath. So it is expected for you to have shortness of breath, but if it starts to worsen, you definitely need to contact them for that. If you are having increased swelling in your feet, ankles, even your arms, if you are having difficulty sleeping, so maybe your primary care provider will have to look more into your treatments.
Okay.
All right, so now we will be talking about your test results that you've had so far here. Are you familiar with any of the tests that we have done so far? I know yesterday they took your blood draw and they took a picture of your chest and they put the sticky things on your body. Are you familiar with any of these things?
I mean, the doctor, and you know, he went over, but yeah, if you could explain me and.
Yeah, he went over it very fast.
Yes.
Yes. So we put the sticky things on your chest here. It's called an EKG. It's basically just taking a picture, a 3D picture of your heart. So as expected, your heart is having this thing called atrial fibrillation, which is common in patients with congestive heart failure. Your heart is made up of 4 chambers. So that means the top 2 chambers the rhythm is thrown off. Have you heard of love dub, love dub?
That sound like heart sounds.
Yes, yes. That is how the heart a normal working heart should sound like.
Okay.
But with atrial fibrillation, that rhythm is thrown off. So that is what we saw in your EKG. We didn't see any signs of a heart attack because there was not any elevated, something that we call STEMI. So that is not something to be concerned about at this time.
Thank you for confirming that, because I think I remember the doctor went over this, but it's great to hear it again.
Yeah.
He did talk about the troponin one though.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
shows
right.
signs of heart damage.
Yes. So your troponin and your BNP, those were elevated. So that means that the most important part of your heart is having a hard time doing its job. That means it's just, at this point, it's really stiff. There is damage to it, and that's why it releases those hormones and proteins. So that is something that we looked at also, and it is telling us that that part of your heart is not functioning the way it should be. I know this is a lot to hear. So the goal is to make you feel comfortable and still be able to do these activities daily. These treatments are made to help you so that it doesn't worsen rapidly. And this is why we want to monitor all of these things. So your blood was drawn because we wanted to make sure your blood is functioning the way it's supposed to. Have you heard of hemoglobin?
No, it's a really long word.
Okay. Yeah, so hemoglobin are these things that are in your platelets and they attach to oxygen. And so hemoglobin is needed to spread the oxygen throughout your body.
Oh, so without it, there's no oxygen.
Yeah, so your hemoglobin levels are worsening. That is what the blood draw results showed us, which is why it is even more important to monitor your oxygen levels and making sure you have enough oxygen while you're at home. We also did a basic metabolic panel. We did that to see how your kidney is functioning. Your kidney needs the right amount of blood in order to keep working. And right now your body is having a hard time pumping that blood. Your lab results did show that your kidneys are having a hard time functioning normally. And that is also why you are going to be going home with these meds to help the strain that's on your kidneys as well.
You doing okay?
Yes, that's a lot of information.
It is, yes.
But we appreciate this.
And then the most important information we've gotten from these results is that your ejection fraction is at 15%. This means that your heart is just not pumping enough blood out to the rest of your body. And that's because of the fluid buildup. And this is something that you will continue to monitor with your primary care provider. Do you have any other questions about these test results?
I think I'm good, thank you.
So again, you'll be seeing your primary care provider. Here we have the printout of your follow-up appointments. I see you have one in a month with your primary care provider. Of course, we will adjust these as needed. You will also be seeing a cardiologist, so they will be specifically looking at your heart. You will be seeing your physical and occupational therapists. You'll be seeing a dietitian here while you're in the hospital. They'll be teaching you more about your nutrition plan. We also we can assist with scheduling with mental health professionals. This is a lot of information. It's an adjustment in your life. So these services are available for you to be able to navigate these emotions. During your hospital stay, you'll also be seeing social workers and case managers. They'll be helping with things such as insurance and getting access to all the things that you need. For example, home health care. These nurses go to your home to assist you with specific things. Do you need any help scheduling any of these appointments in the future?
I mean, it looks like you have several appointments already set up.
Yeah, this look great. Your fronts are really easy to read. Thank you. Yeah.
And once you are home, you will be contacting your primary care provider because they are the first line of contact, and then they can refer you out to other services that you need.
Okay.
And that's that phone number right there?
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
phone number right there.
Perfect.
All right, so I know that was a lot of information that I've shared with you today. Again, I encourage you to ask questions at all times because we value both of your opinions and we want both of you to feel confident when you go home. So overall, again, congestive heart failure is progressive. So that means it could worsen quickly over time or it can worsen slowly over time, depending on many factors such as adherence to treatment, adherence to diet and exercise. Again, the goal is for you to be able to continue to do things that you enjoy at home, but safely. To me, it sounds like you are both confident about you going home. You both have been working on a plan together, which is so great. So these are all great things to help prepare you for discharge. I'd like to go over a couple of things again to make sure that you don't have any other questions. Let's see, what should your diet be when you go home?
So definitely low sodium. I should do the DASH diet and Mediterranean diet, which is the difference is just add the seafood on that Mediterranean diet. I should consume less of the liquid. I'm gonna have my best friend here help me move the rug and move me downstairs as closer to the garage where I don't have to walk up the hill or the stairs. And she's gonna help me with, with some food and getting some food and taking me to the appointment.
We're gonna get it all done together.
Yeah.
We'll get you there.
Thank you.
And then you are taking multiple medications at the same time. Again, all of those meds are in that brochure. And when you do go home, we will go over all of those medications again.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the torsemide and the purpose of it?
Yeah, so that's just gonna reduce some of the liquid in there, and so have it's my body's not having too much of the fluids.
And that's the one you can't take at nighttime, remember? Because it makes you pee. So that's the one you have to take in the morning.
Yes.
And then I have such a hard time getting to the bathroom, so that's a good idea.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much for meeting with me today. Again, you both sound confident and you have a plan for going home. Are there any other concerns that you have, or what is your goal for your hospital stay here?
Yeah, my goal is to get up and use the bathroom on my own. Because at the middle of the night, I don't want to have to wake up Becky all the time. She needs to rest too. So that would be my priority goal while I'm here.
Is there anything else you are concerned about?
The oxygen. Yeah, so so on the paper here it says 2 liter. Is that right?
I know at home she has that big machine at home. And then they're bringing her tanks, the delivery company, so that she could go out every day, and we roll the tank with her when she goes out. But I don't think it was 2.
Yeah, so according to the information in your chart, I saw that you were taking 6 liters prior to coming to the hospital. So at this time, you are taking 6 liters via nasal cannula here at the hospital. You will most likely need to continue oxygen at home.
Okay.
The exact rate, I do not know the answer at this time, because it does depend on many factors while you're here at the hospital, and that is an order that the doctor will adjust as needed.
Okay.
But that is a great concern that I will also mention to the case manager. They'll make sure that you continue to receive your supply, because it is very important for you to continue to use oxygen at home, because your body needs that oxygen.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for confirming that information.
Thank you so much for going over everything.
Thank you both.